Good morning, everybody. Man, it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. I hope you're doing well. Oh my gosh. Yes, we survived. We survived another evening. Weird how that happened. We managed to live through, the big stock market crash and everything is falling around behind us. Oh my gosh. The world's gone to hell in a handbasket. The end of it. It's all coming. The sky is falling, and guess what? The Nikkei rises 10%, and other world markets are mixed after the week's roller coaster start. Oh, Bangkok. Japan's benchmark soared more than 10% on Tuesday, rebounding after roller coaster start. Yeah, I mean, things are still down, but guess what? The world didn't end. Monday's plunge, reminiscent of the crash in '87 that swept around the world, pummeling Wall Street and more steep losses, and fears worsened about a slowing U.S. economy. Oh my, oh my, oh my. We didn't. And the end of the world never happened. Good to see you, Sir Frank Otter. You're the first, and Cynthia Ferry the second. Meow. So glad you could make it. Oh man. This is what I said. Don't stress stuff whenever you see these kind of things. It's no different than whenever you have someone that comes in and wins an election. Everybody gets all panicked, and the thing you do is you buckle down, you do better. You have that's all you have to do. And think about this. You've got an election that's coming up. Some of you want one person, some of you want the other person. And who wins? Does that change how you act? Probably not. You know, will it change how much money you have in your pocket? And you know, will you see more war? Will the economy tank one way or the other? Who knows? Who knows? The only thing that you can control on that aspect is, well, one, who you vote for. That might help out quite a bit. But think about how you're going to react to it. I think that far too long our children I don't have any kids, but others children see the way that parents get completely unhinged over the slightest things that they have no control over, and the children react to that and act the same way. That's why you'll see so much misbehaving. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be an idiot. I'm not a child psychologist or even smart. Just saying, where I see it, that's how I see the world. And everyone says, "Well, how did we get here to this point?" I mean, you think about it. The euro fell from $1.09 to $1.09 and 54 cents. Hmm. Weird, isn't it? How they put it there. U.S. economy is still growing, so a recession is far from uncertain. Oh, yeah. The U.S. stock market is still up a healthy amount for the year, and double-digit percentage gains for the S&P and the Dow and the Nasdaq. Yeah, we know. That's the thing. We know that it's easy to freak out and act crazy, and of course, we have crap like this that happens. It makes you just question everything about everything about, well, what is good and proper. Biden met his this is from the BBC. Biden, the U.S. president, Biden met his senior national security team on Monday as concerns of possible retaliatory attack on Israel grew. Yeah, just got here, so we're talking about crap. Always talking about crap. Mr. Biden said he'd been briefed on preparations to support Israel should it be attacked. Well, Secretary of State Blinken said officials were working around the clock to prevent an escalation. Um, yeah, that went to shit. It just that that completely went to shit. I mean, I fret to say this, but it completely went to shit. The reason I say that is because we, we have this. Ah, oh, several U.S. personnel appear to have been injured in a suspected rocket attack. Well, you don't suspect these things. It either is or isn't, and most likely it is. Adding the officials at the base are conducting a post-attack damage assessment. U.S. military officials told CBS that there were no known fatalities. Of course, they won't tell you that because this could turn really ugly really quick, and that the service members' injuries were not reported to be critical. It appeared two Katyasu rockets were fired from a modified box truck towards Al Assad. The officials say the White House officials said Biden has been briefed on the attack. The briefing focused on the threats posed by Iran and its proxies to Israel and the U.S. service members in the region. The White House said in a statement, and the President and Vice President were briefed on the attack on El Saudi Air Base in Iraq. They discussed the steps we're taking to defend our force and respond to any attack against our personnel in a manner and place of our choosing. Really, they just attacked an air base. There were our people that are U.S. citizens that were attacked. And your response is, we discussed the steps to discuss what we're going to do. Uh-huh. That's weak. The attack came amid mounting concerns of a larger regional war in the Middle East. And the commander in Lebanon, Hamas top political leader in Iran, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said Monday, if the region said the region was a critical moment, and he urged all parties in the Middle East to work to ease tensions. Mm. So, are you saying that we need to stop supporting our troops? That we need to pull all our troops out of Israel? Is that what you're saying? Because under any other circumstance, this would have been considered an act of war. Just saying. Under any other circumstance, U.S. would have come back with a retaliatory response that would have probably leveled the damn country if this was under any other circumstance. Mm-hmm. Al-Assad said the target of strikes before, most notably in 2020 when Iran launched a missile attack against the base in retaliation for deleting Soleimani. More than 100 American troops were diagnosed with traumatic brain injuries in the aftermath of the missile attack. And how did we respond? Mm-hmm. See, they tell you that, like, oh, nothing's going to happen. No big deal. And then I hate this crap. And then, of course, 2 U.S. troops die in Iraq. 2 Georgia National Guard soldiers die in separate non-combat incidences in Iraq. Makes you wonder what they're not telling you. So Biden says he's been briefed on preparations to support Israel should it be attacked. Really? Oh, I mean, what more do you need to know that you're being attacked? See, the problem is you've come off Biden as being very weak. Tensions have risen over the last week following it was the following the assassination of, 2 political leaders. Hmm, but the US didn't do that. And why is the US not supporting these moves? Because they appear weak. Because the US gave wishy-washy answers because we had a vice president that could not take the time to show her support for Israel whenever she had the chance. I know how other countries take that. They take it as we're not supporting one of our allies. That's how the rest of the world takes that. Tensions have risen over the last week following these couple of assassinations, which Iran has blamed Israel and vowed severe retaliation. Israel has not claimed responsibility for that assassination. Mhm. Numerous countries, including the US and the UK, have told their citizens to leave Lebanon. But you said you're working on de escalating. Why would you be telling people to leave? Good morning, JW. Good morning, TST. Ingrid, good morning. Good morning, Buck. How you doing? Mentioned toes at the controls. God help us. Yep. From where it is feared Hezbollah, an Iran-backed militia and political movement could play a role in any response. During Monday's briefing, Biden was told the timing and nature of an Iranian attack remaining unclear. A day earlier, Mr. Blinken reportedly told his G7 counterparts that Iran and Hezbollah could attack Israel within 24 to 48 hours. Well, that's happened. In a statement released after the briefing, Mr. Biden said, poop diaper. No, that's not what he said, but he said we received updates on threats posed by Iran and its proxies, diplomatic efforts to de escalate regional tensions, and preparation ages to support Israel should it be attacked again. Well, it's been. So, what's your response? This is why I hate freaking war. Because the US should give swift responses to any attack that is perpetrated on it. A quick and sure response. Yet we show weakness. So why are we even having this discussion? No, because he added that steps are being taken to respond to attacks on U.S. forces in the manner and place of our choosing. Uh huh. Speaking to reporters earlier that day, Mr. Blinken said officials were engaged in intense diplomacy pretty much around the clock with a very simple message: all parties must refrain from escalation. Ah, the woke mindset is so broken. He added the ceasefire would unlock possibilities for more enduring calm, not only in Gaza itself, but in other areas where conflicts can spread. Um, that time has passed. I mean, you understand that time is past, but the US shows weakness. Earlier that day, Biden spoke to King Abdullah II of Jordan about efforts to de escalate regional tensions, including through an immediate ceasefire and hostage release deal. You've put yourself in this predicament, and then you're wanting, oh, we shouldn't be, we should be ceasefire. And you put yourself in this position. The joint statement from the G7 also expressed deep concern about the heightened level of tension in the Middle East, which threatens to ignite a broader conflict in the region. Oh, so you're on thin ice. It's like saying it's like telling it's like going up and slapping a bully, and then the bully telling you, "Let's de-escalate." You know, let's go up and not saying we should do this. Like, imagine going up to a police officer and smacking him, and then taking another swing at him, then taking another swing at him, and the police officer going, "Oh, let's de-escalate, let's de-escalate, let's de-escalate." No, at that time, you lost your opportunity for de-escalation. But oh no. I mean, you can sit here and give me all the death tolls you want to, but that is no excuse. The U.S., if I'm not mistaken, has a no tolerance policy for terrorist attacks, that they would be dealt with swiftly and quickly. But things have changed. That's not the world we live in now. Now we've got to be really peaceful. All those little people wearing their little Palestinian flags, waving them around, wearing the little skirts or whatever it is on their head, scarves. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't think they even know what the hell they're doing. Because you realize that as soon as they have control of your country, oh, and that's their goal, to wipe you out, take what you have and turn it into a shit heap that they live in. If it wasn't such a big deal, why would flights be suspended? Why would they be telling people to leave the region? Why would they tell American citizens to not stay there? If it wasn't such a big deal, why would they be telling people to get out? Well, war sells rockets. There's a lot of money to be made. A lot of money to be made. And it sucks that we have someone at the helm that is pretty much brain dead. Pretty much damn brain dead. I just I am I'm concerned with how much dirt squeeze we're going to go through. Just it saddens me. Saddens me to see. I think that we could probably do much better if we would not not go after other countries. I think that we could do much better. But I don't know. I don't know. Is it possible? Hmm. I think I think we should I think we should vote for this person right here. This is who I think we should vote for. That to hell with it. Let's throw in our hat. Let's vote for this person right here. Oh, what do they have to say?
We have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
Yeah, why don't we vote for that? Why don't we vote for that? And here's a here. So we got unrest going on in the UK. Which, do I give two shits? No. I'm just using it as an example of how crappy things can turn here. Like this. Here, look.
Refugees has Poland taken?
0.
And you're proud of that?
If you are asking me, if you're asking me about Muslims illegal immigration, none, not even one will come to Poland. Not even one if it's illegal. We took over 2 million Ukrainians who are working, who are peaceful in Poland. We will not receive even one Muslim because this is what we promised.
But I asked not about illegal immigrants. I asked about refugees. And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission President, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. That's number one. This is why our government was elected. But this is why Poland is so safe. This is the reason why we had not even one terrorist attack. Look at the streets in Poland. And we can be called populists, nationalists, racists. I don't care. I care about my family and about my country.
Refugees.
There you go. There you go. That right there is the statement. That right there is the statement of the century. Like, I'm not gonna be worried about people calling me all these names, because I'm not. I just don't want my country being destroyed. I care about my country above all else. Am I worried about Poland? No. Am I worried about Russia? No. Am I worried about Ukraine? No. Mexico? No. Venezuela? No. I use those as examples. Have you seen any articles about camel toe being removed from the White House Situation Room by force during the night? I've seen it mentioned in several places. That I don't know. That I don't know. I mean, you'll see all kinds of articles like that, and I mean, if you see one, send it to me. I'll read it. I don't buy those kinds of things, because a lot of times it'll be from an unknown source that's blah blah blah. Yeah. And does it matter whether she was removed or not? I mean, maybe she's just that incompetent. I don't think she is that stupid. I think that she's worse. I guess that's the best description. Because this is what they're talking about. She readies for a Philadelphia rally to introduce her running mate, but her pick is still unknown because nobody cares. Really? Do you name one person that would make you just jump up and go out and vote for her? Name one. Anyone on the Democrat side that would just get you all excited, say, you know what? That would make a great vice president. That would make a great president if something were to happen to our president. I mean, that's what you have to think about. I think she's that stupid. No, I think she's worse. that's the best way I can put it. Yeah. Ready as a Philadelphia rally to introduce her running mate, but her pick is still unknown. Well, go figure. Nobody cares. Nobody really. Nobody cares. I mean, these are the kind of articles that they have to show. Oh, officially becomes the presidential nominee. Uh-huh. So she officially becomes the Democrat presidential nominee. Vice President Camel Toe Harris, a daughter of illegals who rose through California's political and law enforcement. Oh, I'm sorry. No, they weren't illegal. They were here legally. Yeah, they were immigrants. Okay. California political, she rose. No, she went on her hands and knees inside the political and law enforcement ranks to become the first female vice president in history that nobody voted for, that nobody wanted. They were so interested in picking Joe that they did not even want her. I have to show this just so you can understand. So this is the kind of shit that I have to go through on a morning basis. Let's point it out. Yeah, look. This is AP's fact check. You know, what does their fact check say? A look at the false claims around Harris and her campaign for the White House. What else does it say? Oh, whenever they speak of Donald Trump, they say falsely suggest camel toe. Fact focus. Google autocomplete results around Trump-leaded claims of election interference. That's false flag. The U.S. Capitol lowered for Jackson Lee, not Biden. Post misidentified old videos. Paris of torchlighting. Fact. A look at the claims made by Donald Trump. Fact focus. Trump and Republican convention video alludes to false claims. Fact focus. Trump falsely claims babies can be seen to blah, blah, blah. Fact focus. A look at ominous claims around the but what about her false claims? Why don't they highlight those false claims ever? Why won't the AP go after the lies that she tells? Why? Because they believe those to be true. This is the problem with the AP. They believe the lies that they're being fed are true, and those are the lies that they will feed to you. Yeah, every running mate outshines her. Yeah. So why don't we take a look at these false claims that around Camel Toe in her campaign for the White House? Claim Harris is not an American citizen. Don't care. If she wasn't an American citizen, she wouldn't have been put in the vice president spot. I don't know who's claiming it, but nobody cares. At this point, they've pretty much given up. Why? Let's go back a few presidents. Why do people care? Oh, no, he's totally born in Hawaii. Sure. Okay. There's no question or legitimate debate. Okay. So there's no question or legitimate debate. Then why is it such a big deal? Claim Harris is not black. Correct. Just like Obama wasn't. You can't claim one half and then not claim the other. So just being a mutt is fine. I have members of my family that aren't white. Amazing. Well, they're half white. I have one that's half Spanish or Mexican. I mean, the last name like Gonzalez or Garcia or something like that. It's a pretty common name. And yeah. Yeah, he always thought that his parents were Greek. That's what they told him. No, that's my half brother. My half brother's half Mexican, and he's proud of it. Whenever he did, I think he did some genetic testing. if you want to win, stay away from identity politics and hit her on policy. Slam dunk. Exactly. Because this right here, the point that Donald Trump made whenever he said this was that all the way up until the point that it's become convenient for her to be black, to talk black, to act black, and to be a black. Only it works whenever it's convenient for her. You notice she doesn't mention anything about her husband being Jewish. Notice she doesn't mention anything about that. Notice they don't mention anything about their adopted daughter. You notice they don't mention any of these things. And here's the problem. Despite ample evidence to the contrary, social media users are making erroneous claims about her race. Why? Because you cannot search anything that doesn't say anything about her race. You can go back, oh my freaking God, whenever she first was running for state office, the claims that she's made, the wild, outrageous things that she said, you can't find it. You know why you can't find it? Because they love to scrub the internet of that shit. That's why you can't find it. Good luck. Good luck finding out where she's made contrary posts. They've removed them. And of course, they talk about an autobiography that nobody cares or gives two craps about. Harris got to start by having an affair with a married man. Oh, well, it's missing some important context. This is what they say. Oh, now it's missing some important context. Well, he was separated from his wife during the relationship. Wow, and that wasn't a secret. Of course it wasn't. But she was still sleeping with a married man. The only reason she got into the position she got into is because she was screwing a married man. Slobbing the knob, whatever you want to call it, polishing the poker. I don't know what you want to call it. Whatever it is that you want to say she was doing. Yeah, she was doing that. I don't know, spreading curry all over it. I don't know. What the fuck? But all of a sudden it becomes convenient. Here you have to understand it was in context. No, so you're going to hold some moral high ground, claiming that Trump screwed around on his current wife, like some big moral high ground. Yet you're going to gloss over the facts of what she was glossing over with her lips. Yeah. Nobody cares about the affairs. Look at Trump. But of course, you have to have the moral high ground. So all of this stuff, just like Inside Edition of Montel holding hands with Harris, another woman's proof that Harris was a side piece. Yeah. Who was the other woman? That was his daughter. Didn't say that he was having sex with his daughter, but it is his side piece. Harris has promised to inflict the vengeance of a nation on Trump supporters. It's spreading online 5 years. I've never heard this before. And it says the articles didn't come from Harris, but a satirical article published online in August 2019. Who published it? Ben, who wrote this online article? Why don't we fact check the fact checkers? Claim video, Harris says in a speech today. And yeah, that was funny. So here's the thing. On one hand, They're going to talk about a satirical. Oh, it was a satirical article that was published. What about this one? Did you not see that that was satirical also? But what did they say? Oh, she never said this. Actually, she did say it. Just it was somebody took and clipped it skillfully to make it say today is today and yesterday was today yesterday, tomorrow will be today tomorrow. So live today for the future. Today will be the past today as it is tomorrow. Yeah, it was satirical. I mean, the person that wrote that or created that was called like Memes a Lot or some crap like that. Ah, geez. Yet, of course, this is how they have to do you. Because they can't talk about the policy. Just like Volstorm said. Nobody cares about the fares. Look at Trump. You really want to stay away from all of the identity politics and hit her on the policy slam dunk. Because she's got nothing here. There's nothing here. There's nothing here that shows what has been said about her policy. They're all making it look like some big thing, but it's not. What this attack could look like against Israel with the support of regional allies. It'll look like the 7-Day War. That's what it'll look like. Where they're attacked on multiple fronts from different locations and they go in with the intent of destroying. What could happen if Iran attacks Israel? Well, they already have. Why is Iran armed proxy forces? Dice the draft. Yeah. Good morning, Toy. Good morning. Remember when Bill Clinton reminded Dems that he dodged the draft when they were accused W of the same? Yeah. Where are Iran's regional allies? Well, they began began in earnest in the 80s when shit forces. What? Shit forces in Lebanon. Oh, Shiite. Oh, I'm sorry. Whenever the Shiite forces in Lebanon fighting against Israel became the Hezbollah militia. I remember there was a time that Iran did some really horrible shit. And our response was very, very quickly heated. I want to say that was Reagan, wasn't it? Iraqi militias, Lebanon's Hezbollah, Palestinian militant forces, Yemen's Houthi rebels. What do you think? What do you think that they're not looking? Shit forces. I thought that was after eating loads of fiber. Maybe we should send plenty of fiber over to them. Please remember that I did too. Oh, and of course that they're going to have to validate everything about, camel twat. Yeah. This is your new reality right here. They're going to validate everything about camel twat. Then calling her camel twat. I think camel twat works much better. I think it's more fitting. Why is it froze up? Damn. The YouTube really hates me. Government to depose the Shah of Iran. Yeah. I assume money. Could be. Very big possibility. I'm waiting on my browser to finally do something. I've already switched the browser, but for some reason it's still showing one thing and not the other. And of course, it won't let me close pieces of it. Close that. Close that. Close. Why is it acting so weird? Problems. All right, here we go. Let's see if it's sharing now. We'll just stop that screen and remove, present it again. Present, share screen. Yeah, my browser's acting funky. StreamYard usually screws things up. Harris wins the Democrat. You notice how they keep calling it Democratic? It's not. They're Democrats. Presidential nomination in a virtual roll call. Here's how the process worked. Well, the delegates selected Camel Twat to be the party's presidential nominee, according to final vote results released late Monday by the National Committee. But don't expect a balloon drop just yet. Harris officially claimed the nomination following a 5-day online voting process with nearly 4,600 votes that we're not going to show you. The party did not release a precise number of votes that were cast for president or the state-by-state breakdown of present votes, though it did release state-by-state numbers for Harris. Isn't that wild? Harris had already secured the majority of votes needed to claim the nomination by Friday afternoon, says Jamie Harrison around the live video presentation that marked the day of the milestone. But the result was not official until after the voting period closed on 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday. Why? Because you don't want to have that one that comes up that gets the 500 votes, which would have meant they would have had to have a primary. This is what they wanted to avoid. This is what they're planning for 2024. This is what the DNC would like to do for 2024. They want to get people used to this virtual voting. They will tell you, oh, this will make it more fair, more secure if everybody's able to virtually vote. But nobody will be able to see it except for those taking the votes. Hey, how's it going, Yamaha? Good to see you. Scoon. Mercury retrograde. Harris had already secured this vote, but they're not going to say anything. Well, delegates to the DNC began casting votes on Thursday to select their nominee, but unlike in past years, they did so not in the raucous party atmosphere of the convention. Oh, raucous. No, you're talking about the empty atmosphere of the convention floor. Instead, they participated in what the party called a virtual roll call, filling out electronic ballots from their homes, offices, or vacation spots more than 2 weeks before they ever walk into the center. And why did they do this? Because they thought it would give her an opportunity to debate Trump. But you know what Trump did? He did the smartest thing that he could possibly do. He said, you know what, sweet cheeks? You go ahead and debate. I'm not showing up to ABC. Tell you what, I want to do this over on Fox. Oh. Virtual for no. In camel. Virtual vote for no. Okay. In camel toes. Camel tits? Maybe? Camel tits? No, that doesn't work. All right, I'll keep it with camel toe. God bless. Thank you, Toy. I appreciate I appreciate the super chat. I'll keep it clean, damn it. Arr. You hold my feet to the fire, damn women. Delegates used in electronic voting method, the party says, similar to one used to tally virtual roll call votes in 2020 convention, but the COVID-19 pandemic forced the party to conduct much of it remotely. Grazie. De nada. Harris submitted signatures from these delegates. Under the party rules, where only officially nominated candidates were eligible to receive votes. Votes cast for someone other than Harris roll call were counted as present. Ooh. So the DNC is breaking all the rules. Damn, Zach. Toysy is as pure as the dribbled snow. Yeah. You'll never get to see what their votes were. Isn't that nice? You'll never get to see the people that did not vote for. The DNC made up their mind 3.5, 4 years ago who they were running. Yeah. And nobody wanted her. She dropped out of the race because she was so crappy at her job. Nobody wanted her. Of course, after the 2016 election, the party passed changes that allowed super delegates to vote only on the second and subsequent ballots. Party rules do not allow super delegates to vote on the first ballot. Don't care. What about the nominee for vice president? Well. So why did this happen before the convention? Well, because she wouldn't have been able to secure a nomination. She had to get her name on the damn ballot in those states. This is all carefully planned. Just so you know, just so there's no argument here. All of this was planned ahead of time. Yellow snow, like you like lemon slushies? That's pretty bad. So, although a deadline had been modified in previous election years to accommodate late summer conventions of both parties, this year the Republicans initially planned to enforce the existing deadline, with one GOP lawmaker calling the scheduling bind a Democrat problem. Yeah, better than brown snow. Yellow snow is definitely better than brown snow. The Republican-controlled legislature, they allowed the change on the request of DeWine, but law does not go into effect until August 31st, citing concerns that Ohio Republicans could still try to block their candidate from getting on the ballot despite the legislative fix. DNC officials moved forward with their virtual roll call as planned, so she could possibly not be on the ballot in Ohio. So now what happens at the convention? A lot of drinking, a lot of screwing, and a lot of stroking each other's egos and telling each other how great they are. Yeah, that's what's on that's what's on the agenda for the convention. But see what they'll do, and you can see it coming already. They will have a low turnout. I mean, the convention, if you saw the Republican convention, how packed it was. And that was before people knew that Hulk Hogan was going to be there. How packed that place was. Now, what will you see at the DNC? Oh, well, we had other things to attend to. See, they there was no need for everybody to be there. How about we get Megan Thee Stallion to show up, because that'll bring some people. I mean, it did in Georgia. Well, typically the process of normally the voting process of nominees is done publicly with a live roll call vote, which state delegations cast their votes from the convention floor with much fanfare. Well, but this year they just they don't want to give her that much fanfare because they knew that nobody would want her there. They don't like her. Isn't that bad when your own party hates you so much that they don't want to even be in the same room with you? That's pretty pitiful. And that's what it tells me. Because if they wanted her, she would have been the candidate in 2020. Yeah, I showed that yesterday. I showed the receipts on that. Influencers getting paid $20,000 to show up at the DNC, but they'll pay you even more if you have over 100,000 followers. They'll pay you even more for showing up. They don't realize that if you've got over 100,000 followers, 20K is nothing. You're making that in ad revenue. But if you're going to chase the mighty dollar, then go for it. Yeah. King Paco, slightly tried, but okay. How about you? Slightly tired. Got it. I'm slightly tired too. DNC says the convention will feature a ceremonial roll call vote, mimicking the look of because that's all they can do is mimic. And that's all they have to say. That's all they have to say. I want to show you something, and it'll take a second because it's very important that you see this before I show you my next article. It's very important that I show this before I show my next article.
Rhetoric about a constant drumbeat of heated language. Well, as I'm sure everyone watching expected, we need to show you some of their own words.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
You got to be ready to throw a punch. You have to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and then punch him in the face.
That I thought you should have punched him in the face.
I feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school.
If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
No, I wish we were in high school. I could take him behind the gym.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Take him out now.
Okay. When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
I
have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
We're going to go in there, we're going to...
Well, this is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
And there's more.
I promise to fight every single day. One, I'm a fighter and I'm relentless. But I'm a fighter and I'm relentless. A fighter and I'm relentless. I will fight like hell.
But the way I see it now is that we pick ourselves up and we fight back. That's what I think it's all about. We stand up and we fight back. We do not back down. We do not compromise, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. You can either lie down, you can whimper, you can pull up in a ball, you can decide to move to Canada, or you can stand your ground and fight back. And that's what it's about. We do fight back, but we are going to fight back. We are not turning this country over to what Donald Trump has sold. We are just not. Look, people are upset and they're right to be upset. Now we can whimper, we can whine, or we can fight back. Me, I'm here to fight back. I'm here to fight back because we will not forget. We do not want to forget. We will use that vision to make sure that we fight harder, we fight tougher, and we fight more passionately than ever. We still have a fight on our hands. Fight hard for the changes Americans are demanding. Get in the fight, to winning the fight. Fighting. He's fighting. We'll use every tool possible to fight for this change. We'll fight to fight, fighting hard. Serious about fighting and fight. We got to get on our front foot and fight back. Problems, we call them out and we fight back. I'm in this fight. I am fighting. Get in this fight. Get in this fight. Get in this fight. And fighting, we all need to be in the fight. We all need to stay in the fight. We stay in this fight. We fought back. I am not afraid of a fight. I am in this fight all the way. You don't get what you don't fight for. Our fight. We are in this fight for our lives. This is the fight of our lives.
But we are going to make sure that this fight does not end tonight.
This is a fight for our lives, the lives of our friends and family members and neighbors. It is a fight, and it is a fight that we're going to work to make sure continues. It's a fight. It is a fight. It is a fight, and that's what this fight is for.
Well, I'm wired to fight anyone who isn't doing their job for us. I'm John Tester, and you're damn right.
And that leads me into our next story. Pelosi warns in her new book that political threats and violence must stop. It's weird. It's weird. They've been telling you what they're going to do. They've been slapping you around. And it never occurred to her. Nancy thought briefly she might have died on January 6th. Not quite 2 years later, that threat of violence would come for her husband at their home. But you have to understand the violence that came at her and at her home was from someone on her side. It was one of her constituents. It was one of the people in her own district. It was one of the people that came to talk to Nancy. And instead, and I don't agree with it that he ever should have done this, instead he attacked her husband. Because Nancy was where every congressman spends their time in Washington instead of at home. she probably had her little cucumbers or whatever women put, the face mask or something, ice mask or whatever, to slow down the bags, you know, because or maybe she was getting the back of her scalp stapled so they could stretch that skin just a little bit further. But anyhow, yeah, guy went and attacked Pelosi was on their side. And that was the intruder posed to Paul Pelosi before hitting him with a hammer. It echoed the menacing jeers of the rioters, but it wasn't the rioters that did this. This was one of her own constituents. Don't make Nancy to be something of a saintly person, especially after the crap that you already heard. I don't think them cucumbers are for her face. Oh, damn. And see, they're gonna keep talking about these escalating political rhetoric that they've been spreading the whole time. This is what they did in 2016. They went after Trump from day one. The attacks on him were from day one. They did not like the fact that he had just upended all of their plans, because that was not their goal. Their goal was to have the first female president in there. Oh my God. Her being Secretary of the State was just not enough. They had everything planned. They had the celebration balloons, and it all shattered. And they swore that was never going to happen again. That they were going to rise up. They were going to fight this until the ends of the earth. So they ramped up the violence. They ramped up the violence so much they got their people so worked up during Inauguration Day in 2017 that the rioters descended into the Capitol, and they burned buildings, they destroyed businesses, they assaulted people. There was people that were killed during that. There were Capitol police officers that were killed during that. The amount of destruction was in the millions in 17 because of their rhetoric. And then during January 6, 2021, all of a sudden, it became a bigger issue. It wasn't that that happened in 2016 and 2017. But you notice the news doesn't talk anything about that. You don't hear anything about Antifa coming in and smashing businesses up. You don't hear anything about them coming and flipping cars, burning cars in the middle of the street. You don't hear anything about that in the news. You don't see any of that happening in the news. You don't hear them talk about what was one of the most violent days in American history up to that point. You don't hear them talk about that. No, they want to talk about January 6, 2021, not 2017. That would have been, you can't talk about that one. But 2021, by God, let's go ahead and talk about that. Pelosi recounts her nearly 4 decade. So she was in there for 4 decades. Could you imagine that? That's longer than most of you people have been around. She's been in there for 4 decades. Longer than most of you people have even been around. That's a lot of money. She's made a lot of money. She went into Congress making money, and she walked out of Congress a multimillionaire. Americans' toxic political climate faces calls to tone it down after the assassination on Trump. Oh, that's how long it took. She says we cannot ask people to serve in public life if the cost is risking the safety of their families and those they love. You're the ones that called for violence on people. You called for violence on U.S. Supreme Court justices. You've had people go after U.S. Supreme Court justices. You've doxed where they live. You have people outside of their homes protesting them. And you're telling me that we need to be looking back, BLM, Antifa, BLM, 2017, 2020? Yeah. Just remember that Nancy Pelosi, her policies include no support for Israel. She shows undying support for Palestine. Remember that her policies are Black Lives Matter more than anything else. Remember that she does not appreciate the police unless she needs them. She does not appreciate anybody being let out of jail that should be let out of jail unless she says so. She will ignore any sort of right or wrong. She is a woke mind virus. And that is what you will get if you vote for her. I guess that's the best way that I could put it. Probably the kindest way I could put it. There's a lot of other things I would say. But Tori doesn't like whenever I call her, camel tits. Gotcha. So, of course, this was well written, well before, because here's the thing, Nancy, you've called for violence on people, and all of a sudden, whenever those chickens come home to roost, you can't handle it. Yeah, Pelosi bends with the wind. That's hard too. It's hard not to. She is a little top heavy. Oh, she says she can handle it, protesting, telling U.S. Capitol Police she wants to stay and finish the work. What? Like Pelosi. During January 6th, you remember that you were given the opportunity to have more people there, more support, because that's what you were in charge of. You remember how that blew up in your face? Do we forget, Nancy? Do we forget what you were told? Followed by Omar. I'm embarrassed she's from Texas. Maxine Waters is one of the worst. Yeah. Well, if you want to see more of the woke mind virus, here we go.
What else are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up.
Oh boy. Yeah, if you haven't seen this is a simple question. How are you going to fix inflation? What did Trump say? Remember, Trump says it every damn speech he says it, where it's almost ad nauseum. What does Trump say he's going to do to fix inflation? First thing that he's going to do is he's going to drill. He's going to get the oil flowing back. Oil is what moves this country. It would lower the prices almost immediately as soon as those pumps go online. As soon as they start refining oil, those gas pumps will start pumping. The fuel prices will drop and vehicles will start it'll be more affordable for them to get from point A to point B just in time for fall harvest and be able to get things moving again. You guys are going to be amazed this Thanksgiving. What was the cost of your turkey last year? How much did you pay per pound last year? What about the year before that? What about the year before that? Do you think the cost of your turkey is going to go into the triple digits this year? Huh. That's a way of giving thanks, isn't it? Yeah, we did steak.
And families and individuals are dealing with the realities of
Simple question.
that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up. That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources. That's about a source of stress for families that is not only economic, but is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry. So it is something that we take very seriously.
48 seconds. 45 seconds, because they did ask the question. Save a turkey, beef, it's what's for dinner. Yeah. 45 seconds of word salad explaining what everybody already knows inflation is. How are you going to handle inflation? Trump has an answer for that. Whether he's right or wrong, that would fix it immediately. He has an answer. What was her answer? Well, she has to explain to you what inflation is, multiple different ways.
Very seriously. And we know from the history of this issue in the United States that when you see these prices go up, it has a direct impact on the quality of life for all people in our country. So it's a big issue, and we take it seriously. And it is a priority, therefore.
That right there is what you're going to get. That's what you're looking for. I did find a Biden addressing the first gentleman's accusations. This is pretty good.
My fellow Americans, it's your boy Dank Brandon here. I'm here tonight to address some of the vile shit you all have been talking about the first gentleman. Yes, it's true, Doug Raw Dog the help, but when the all pair has a nice pair, you motorboat them sons of bitches. Look, if it weren't for banging the nanny, yours truly wouldn't be here today. I say, let he who hasn't smashed the nanny cast the first bone. Nannies are the best. They clean up messes, change diapers, and prevent you from speaking to the media. Who wouldn't want to play hide the salami with one? I guess what I'm trying to say is don't knock it until you've knocked one up, you bunch of hypocrites. Anyways, as usual, Orange Man bad. VP cackles good. Dank Brandon out.
Oh God, these kill me. These kill me. This is where we need to go. Says she want me to. I'll vote for her. I wasn't going to, but for you, okay. She's very fun. If you view government as a very expensive form of entertainment, like Dave Barry recommends, she used more than 5 different words. It's amazing. Here's how, if you want to win against the woke mindset, you have to not let them take over the conversation. If you want to avoid falling into their traps, watch this man so skillfully and artfully show you how it's done. Okay? This man right here is going to show you the way that you should be responding to these people politically and at all times, and never, never, never let them stop you. This will be the best interaction that you're going to see today.
And you just repeated the slur again. If it doesn't matter, why do you all keep questioning her identity? She's always identified as a black woman. She is biracial. She has a Jamaican father and an Indian mother. She's always identified as both. Why are you questioning that?
Well, George, first of all, this is something that's actually a conversation throughout social media right now. There were a lot of people who are trying to figure this out. But again, that's a side issue, not the main issue. The main issue.
Sir, one second. You just did it. You just did.
No, we're going religious. No, he said, this is a side issue. This is not the main issue. But see, George does not want to let it go. He can't let it go.
Did it
Vice
again.
President of the United States.
Why do
George,
you insist on questioning her racial identity?
You want me to talk?
I want you to answer my question.
George, now that you're done yelling at me, let me answer. He talked about it on the stage yesterday in Atlanta for what, 2 minutes? He spent more than 35, 40 minutes going after her record, talking about how radical of a senator that she was. She was the most liberal senator in the United States, in the United States Senate. That is a fact. He talked about the job that she did as vice president of the United States, a job, I will add, which has been a failure for the American people. I know you guys like to glom on to this that he talks about in jest or in a serious manner for about a minute or so, but what you do not cover is the litany of failures of Kamala Harris.
And that right there is how you beat them. Because the response that he's going to get is the dude cannot let it go. Stephanopoulos cannot let it go. Because he's like a mad dog, just like, well, how dare you? How dare you ignore the fact of her race? Trump talked about it for like, what, 2 minutes? And then he moved on and started talking about all of the policies where she's failed. But they can't let this one thing go.
That's what you're not covering, George.
So questioning somebody's racial identity for a couple minutes is okay?
Huh?
George, I'm going to tell you again, he brought it up. AP is the one that wrote the headline when she first came in to the United States Senate. Didn't talk about her being black, talked about her being the first Indian American senator. AP brought that up. I mean, George, we can have this conversation.
Yes, that is true. That is what AP brought up. It had nothing to do with her being black. It was first Indian senator.
For the entire segment, but none of this matters to the American people. What matters to the American people is, are we going to have the same policies of the Biden-Harris administration that has been destructive of the American people, or are we going to have the policies of the Trump administration, which put America first, had low inflation, prosperous Americans, no matter your race, no matter your color, no matter your creed, and a foreign policy that kept America safe? Those are the facts that truly matter, because this issue is going to come and go. The lives of the American people is what's going to remain. And that's what matters more than anything else.
If it doesn't matter, I don't understand why you keep on repeating it, why the president keeps on repeating it, why those introducing the president yesterday
George,
keep on repeating
I'm not
it.
the one who keeps repeating it. George, you're the one that's bringing it up now. That's
You've done it.
I understand why
Sir,
you've done it.
You've done it 3 times.
No, he hasn't. You've brought it up every single time, and he's talked about the policies.
Every single answer you gave me. Now let me finish, sir.
George,
every single answer you gave, you repeated the slur.
Asked me, George. That's why I'm pushing back on you now. George, you asked me the question 3 times. I responded, but
and every single time you repeat the slur. That is exactly my point. You simply can't say that it's wrong.
George, so then what you're saying, and I want to get off this topic because it's not the only thing that's going on. But George, now you're saying that AP is the one that slurred Kamala Harris, because those are the facts. You can go to the internet and look at the clips, George, if you want to, or we can talk about this now. I prefer to talk about the future of our country, because the American people are struggling. The American people do need serious policy decisions to be made, and they need serious leadership on the world stage. Kamala Harris has not proven that she can do that. Donald J. Trump has proven that he can do that.
AP did not say that Kamala Harris is not black. She is biracial.
And see, there he goes again. It's just like, really, this is where you want to go with it. They did, and I'm not going to argue because you're an idiot, George.
She is Indian. She is black. You continue to repeat the fact that you continue to repeat the slur. I don't understand why you and the president do it, but it's clear you're not going to say that it's wrong. And you've now established.
This guy has just got to be sitting there going, "What? You're arguing. I want to talk about policy. You want to talk about her race." Never liked Snuffleupagus. Yeah.
Publish that for our audience.
Yeah. That's the silliness that you run into whenever you try to have a serious conversation with someone like this. I don't know. I'm done. I'm done. I'm just done even talking about him. I'm gonna hold my comments until the DNC, which we're gonna watch, by the way. That's gonna happen. We're gonna watch that so we can make fun. We're gonna make fun. Because like I said, the shit you see going on, it's going to change. It's going to be another story. They've got to do something to boost Camel Toe up. So, I mean, it's just been nonstop for her over the weekend, starting on Thursday. Over the weekend, they already had her appointed. Camel Toe was appointed as being the leader of the DNC, or should I say their candidate. And they're going to quiet voices that disagree with her. And how will they do that? Probably the same way that they do shit in Britain. If you want to get an example of what you should be looking forward to this fall. If you want to get an idea, look at Venezuela. If you want to get an idea of what part of this grand conspiracy we're in, look at what's happening in Britain. If you want to see how far we can fall and how bad it can get, look to Israel. You want to see our country fall? Look to your dear leaders in North Korea. I think we should bring back the bread lines. Well, why not? Starve your people out. That'll keep them in line, right? That keeps them in line. Yeah, I've never liked Snuffleupagus anyway. Yeah, I know too much about him. What, isn't he a convicted criminal? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a convicted criminal. That's why he's not in Congress anymore. I don't think he can. Pretty sure that he was in trouble for some shit. Yeah. This is what you should be looking for the next week. Just so you know, this is their route, the way that they travel. Embracing election conspiracies could sink a Kansas sheriff who once looked invulnerable. What is his conspiracy? Most populous county faced no opposition in his reelection 4 years ago. The GOP in Johnson County, Kansas City area is deeply divided over Sheriff Calvin Hayden's investigation for at least 2 years into what he calls scores of tips about potential election irregularities, with no criminal charges filed so far. Hayden is a contentious race ahead of Thursday's primary election. Democrats are bullish about their chances of winning for the first sheriff ran since 1930 in a general election in November. Hayden's opponents, including the former top deputy, challenged. But what are they talking about? His public doubts about the integrity of local and state elections track with the rise of like-minded leaders in GOP organizations in Kansas and other state. Former President Trump's false narrative about the 2020 election. But local Republican leaders who looked at allegations of fraud in 2020 say the evidence of the evidence of wrongdoing was scant. Really. Mm-hmm. So the first thing they say is the 2020 election was stolen from him. And they keep saying that there was no election fraud. And they say, and then they come out and say, oh, evidence of wrongdoing was scant. But there was evidence. They don't deny that there was evidence. They just said there wasn't a whole lot of it. Of course, then they come back and say, oh, they did not find any fraud. But wait, evidence of wrongdoing was there. But they didn't find any? It was there, but we didn't find any. In the suburban areas across the U.S., a pro-Trump pedigree is like to be a political liability in November. Really? So it's political liability now. This is what they're trying to do. They want to scare you. Hayden faces Doug Bedford, a former U.S. Navy SEAL, longtime sheriff's officer who served as his undersheriff from 2017 to 21 before retiring and becoming a state liquor control officer. Well, damn. That sounds like a hell of a move up right there. Become a liquor officer? Liquor officer? I hardly even know her. What do you want me to do? I couldn't help it. It was there. The winner of the Republican primary will face Brian Robertson, the police chief in suburb Prairie Village, whose office decor includes a cartoon portrait by the Simpson, Matt Groening. Who cares? Former Marine revisit could be a Johnson County's first black sheriff if he won. What does that matter? So sick of hearing it. So sick of hearing it. Liquor in the front, poker. Hey, that's a you thing, Zach. I mean, just saying. How do you know if it's the front or back if you got your eyes closed? Serious question. How do you know? How do you know if it's front or back if your eyes are closed, Zach? And if you say the taste, then I have other questions. Well, Trump is expected to carry Kansas forward comfortably this year. I don't care. It's Kansas. Does it matter whether he's black or white? Can he do the job? Can he do it well? Is he going to be on top of things? Is he going to be horrible? Is he going to be good at his job? Is he going to be bad at his job? What does it matter what color he is or what politics he is, whether he's Democrat or Republican? Is he going to do a good job as a sheriff? I had to talk about it at some point in time. What's behind the anti-illegal immigrant violence that's exploded across Britain. Well, here's a look. And where convulsed by violence the past weeks, is crowds spouting anti-illegals and Islamic slogans has clashed with the police issues. The disturbances have been fueled by activists using social media to spread information about a knife attack that killed three little girls. Why don't you say their names? Why don't you say the names of those three little girls that person killed? What about the other 10 that were injured? Why don't you hear about that? You know they have names. The violence, some of Britain's worst in years, have led to hundreds of arrests. Oh, and that's not all. Even if you repeat something online about this, if you utter a word about this to anybody, they will come to your house and arrest you. Good morning, Forever Not Me. Good to see you. Like I said, you want to see where we're going in the U.S.? You want a good idea of where we're headed? The violence after hurling bricks and other projectiles at police, which you shouldn't be doing, looting shops and attacking hotels used to house illegal immigrants. They want to say asylum seekers. They're not asylum seekers. They're being sent over from France because you know why France got rid of all of those asylum seekers? Because they had the Olympics coming. They did the same thing in Georgia and California. They do it every time the Olympics comes into town. You might not be old enough to remember this, but in California, Los Angeles, what was it, 2015 Olympics or something like that? 2020, no, it was 19, was it 96? It was the 96 Olympics or 94, 92, something like that. 91, 87. I don't know. They hosted the Olympics. What they did was they took all of the homeless, they packed them up in buses, and they shipped them out to the countryside. Shipped them off to places, where they would not be in the city. In what was it, 90, 98, 2000, something like that. They were, see, I don't pay attention to the Olympics that much, but here in the state of Georgia, I know because I worked for a very short period of time building some stuff for MARTA, building swing gates for MARTA. It was a while ago. If the project wasn't completed in time, the Olympics, you owed them money. They would just take it from what they were going to write your check out for. You still had to finish the job, but if you were behind their deadline, you were getting fined every single day, and it was not cheap. A lot of people lost their asses over that because they didn't have enough labor. But it was about a week or two before the Olympics arrived. They basically handed people bus tickets, told them to get the hell out of town. They packed them up in MARTA buses. They packed them up in cars. They packed them up in anything they could, and they removed the homeless from downtown Atlanta. They shipped them out to the suburbs, and they left them there. Serious. The ones that they could move, they moved them out, paid them a little bit of money, gave them some walking cash, and sent them on their way. That was the Olympics. I have no love for the Olympics. A good friend of mine had 3 of his businesses burned to the ground because they wanted to put this thing in called the Olympic Village, and they wanted to purchase his buildings because they were warehouses. The warehouses that were storing Oh, lots of things. Very valuable things. They offered him below market value, like well below market value, and he said no. So every single one of the buildings that he had just accidentally had a homeless person fall asleep and lit on fire. 3 businesses within a week burned. 3 warehouses. Like I said, I have no love for the Olympics or the Olympic Committee. I don't care about them. I'm not saying you shouldn't care about the Olympics all you want to. The Olympic Committee is a bunch of crooked pieces of garbage. That's my thought from what I've seen, and that's how I believe. Yeah. I have very little love for these people.
In a good place to make whatever decision, the top of his game. Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next.
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore. Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden in a good.
Yeah. Yeah, you heard that. Mm-hmm. That's their thoughts. This is how they believe that he's done such a great job. Somebody posted that this next one should just be run for 92 minutes straight. This clip right here explains your Democrat candidate. Right here, this clip.
You know, we have to stay woke. Like everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah. You know, we have to.
Yeah. Just play that on loop. Have you seen a picture of Mount Rushmore before the carving? Its beauty was unprecedented. Oh, Mount Rushmore was made famous by being Mount Rushmore. Up until that point, it wasn't really much of anything. Nobody visited it. Nobody visited it at all. You know that here in Georgia, Stone Mountain is bigger than Mount Rushmore? Mount Rushmore is not very big. I've never visited it. That's something I probably should do at some point in time. I should visit Mount Rushmore. Oh my gosh. It's insane. And you notice they're not talking about anything of importance. The election 2024 is going to go on. They'll continually lie to you about what this election is about, what's going to happen in this election. And tonight, woke equals Marxist intersectionalism. Yeah. No. Tonight, we're going to go over the rest of the. Actually, I'll probably start it from scratch go over the hearing that happened, the motions hearing. If I do a stream tonight, jeez. Grandparents took mom there in the 50s. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty damn awesome. Yeah, got a little bit of the Sarah Boone that I'm going to be covering tonight. I thought about finishing up what I was watching yesterday. I just don't have it in me. I don't have it in me today. I'm a little tired from last night. Expert kept me up too late, son of a buck. I should have bailed whenever Volstorm did last night, but we talked for a little bit longer. It was good. It was good. Good conversation. But yeah, tonight will be some go get woke, go broke. Disney is the go broke phase. Nobody likes Doctor Who. Yeah, nobody watches Star Wars anymore. Oh, there's enough people that watch Star Wars. Zach told a chemistry joke once. I didn't get much of a reaction. Damn it. You guys are bad. You guys are really bad with the jokes. You dad joke shit. Ugh. You guys are so fun. You really are. You make my mornings much more enjoyable than anything out there on the YouTubes. There's a lot out there on the YouTubes. Trust me, there's a lot going on. And well, that's how it is. That's how it is. We're gonna drop everybody over to Mo. I know it's early. I've got to get a few things done early this morning. I need to go get some more coffee, and I'm gonna do all of this because I've got a couple of things that need to be handled before 9:00 this morning. So I'm going to be sending everyone over to Mo. Make sure that you hit the like button on your way in, hit the like button on your way out, and make sure that you give her all of your attention, all of your love. Know that she is doing really good this year, and she's gonna bring some really good stuff for you. Maybe Baker will be able to cover the rest of the Sarah Boone stuff that I didn't cover last night. It'll be good. I'm going to see if I can get that audio out to him before then. Everyone, have a good day, and I will see you very, very soon. With that, you guys take it easy. Peace.
Now I gotta call somebody to come get me because my car turned into a spaceship and I don't know how to fly it. I'm not an astronaut.